law and grace, you could be facing 20 years in prison. So I want you to really think about it, and I'm going to just go off the cuff here and tell you that guys, you raise. Girls, you typically don't. So if you're a girl here, and there's a guy that you're dating that was revving his engine down and he's going to raise somebody, don't get in the car. If he's drinking, don't get in the car. Because in a split second, you lose your life. And I don't want to see your parents coming in my courtroom and cry. Because everybody here, hopefully, each one of you is going to have a first day on the job. You're going to have maybe a first day of college. You're going to have a first apartment. You're going to have your first child. One day, all of you are probably going to get married. And I want that for you. I don't want at 19, 17, 18 years old for your parents to come to my courtroom and cry because you won't have it tomorrow. And I'm saying that, and I'm not trying to scare you, I'm just telling you what I see. And like I said, for my kids, you probably go, oh my gosh, mother, please. I get that all the time. I got a big old love at home who tells me that every day. But I also talk to his friends, and I talk to their friends, and I know that, you can have a blast. Fun is fun. I look at fun, it was really fun. But really keep in mind, these decisions you're making can really affect your life and affect your passenger's life. So, Slimore High School is a good school, has a great reputation. The teachers here obviously really care about all of you. Put this program together. And I want you to know that if any of you ever want to come down to my courtroom and see a felony docket, if any of you have any interest at all in getting involved in law enforcement or becoming an attorney, I would love to show you around and have you sit and watch the docket and see what I see. The majority of the defendants I see are young. A lot of them usually are male. A very large percentage of the defendants are male. And they make these choices, and they decided to drink, or they decided to dance, and they get in a car, and they kill someone, and they have to come see me in court. And usually they're in shadows, and they're usually in custody. And I don't want to see any of you there. I'd love to have you come down and visit and watch the courtroom and see what's going on. You're more than welcome to any of your classes. I have a docket every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Right now, I'm actually at the capital murder trial. I took a break from the trial to come down here because it's so important for me to be able to tell you to really think when you get behind the car. You haven't been driving very long. You got years ahead of you. Don't take a chance this weekend. Call a friend, call your dad, call your mom, anybody who's ready to call and say, hey, I have a too much to drink. Or I'm stupid, I dated this guy, I know this guy, I'm drinking. Your parents and your friends would much rather you call and have them come get you than for them to wake up the next morning and not be there. Okay? Thank you very much for having me. Anytime you want to come visit,
was also an outstanding.
How many of y'all got tore up drunk? Well, all the stupid ones slide to the right, and all the smart ones slide to the left. What we want to talk about is a little bit of the consequences. If you're over 17 or 18, raise your hand. Yeah. Okay. Guess what? Y'all belong to me. Y'all are all adults. Which means that your mamas and your daddies can't get you out of trouble. Now, if you're under 17, raise your hand. Alright. You got a little time to go. Y'all are juveniles unless you do something really stupid, and then they certify you, and then you stand trial as an adult. So all you 17-year-olds and 18-year-olds who find yourselves as juniors and seniors, remember this. I know this is your prom weekend. As the coach mentioned, I went to Montgomery High School. We played the Willis Wildcats. We also played the Splendora Wildcats. True story. I was the all-district fullback 30 pounds ago. 30 pounds ago, I know I look like the center of the guard now, but the all-state tailback was a guy named Jonathan Green. I am the district attorney. My job is to prosecute all adult criminals. The all-state tailback, who did not listen to the same speech, do you know where he is? Yep. He's not in jail. Jail is where you go when you commit low-ranking offenses here in the county. But he's in a special place in prison. Think about where he is in prison. Not even solitary. He's on death row. So out of 3 people that are on death row in Montgomery County, my all-state tailback, the guy that I led the blocks for, is on death row, and part of my job, and part of the judge that was just here, is to set his execution date. Those are real-life consequences based upon the choices that we make. So the prom weekend, when you're talking about it, I know if you don't have a thought for the after the prom, who cares about prom, right? You show up, your hair's $100, you got a $400 dress. What's more important about prom is what's going on after prom, right? Who's got the after prom party? All right. Now let me ask you, who's got the cool parent that's going to let you buy the beer, or that's going to bring the keg to your house? Right. Come on, tell me. Go ahead, Constable Hayden. Right. Now y'all think about that. Y'all think about it. Let me tell you the real life consequences. Under 21, the mere presence of alcohol. Constable Hayden doesn't have to prove that you're driving while intoxicated. I don't have to prove that you've lost the normal use of your mental or physical faculties. I only have to prove if you're under 21 that you have the mere presence of alcohol on your breath. And guess what? You get to go to jail. And you get to lose your license for up to a year. And when you turn 21, guess what you can't get? You can't get your license. You lose your license. Possession of marijuana. Those of you think, well, they won't smell the beer on me because all they'll smell is bud. Right? Right? Possession of marijuana. Less than 2 ounces. Let me see. Shaggy hair. How much is less than 2 ounces? How much is wait, which one? How much is less than 2 ounces? Which one? Less than 2 ounces. We're talking about the amount that you can put in a joint. Right? Less than you can put into a joint. Class B misdemeanor. 180 days in county jail, $2,000 fine, and you lose your driver's license. All these additional responsibilities, additional consequences for dealing with little bud or little beer. I haven't proved that you sold the drug. I haven't proved that you've been intoxicated. All I've proved is that you're in possession of a joint, or that you have got a presence of alcohol on your breath. So we're talking about consequences. Those of you who are on scholarship, you lose your scholarship ability. The school's administrative remedies are to kick you out of school. Those of you who are in honor society or student council, guess what? You get kicked out of those. Fine. But those of us who are athletes get kicked off the teams too. Those of us who are cheerleaders get kicked off the team. So when you think about a consequence, I could sit up here all day and tell you about the long-term criminal consequences, how hard it is to get a job, how hard it is to get a scholarship when you've got a felony conviction. But the reality is you can't think that far. Scientists have said that your front lobe is not fully developed until you're 25. So let's just deal with the short term. Feet on the street. Your mama's going to have to take you to the movies with your girlfriend if you don't have a driver's license. Now, how cool is that? It's hard to pick up a girl in a minivan, I can tell you. Not something that you want to do. So this weekend, and ladies, Gentlemen, the judge is talking to you about the deadly consequences of texting. Has everybody heard the word sexting?
Yep.
Your girlfriend, your underage girlfriend, who by the way would be 16 or below, sends you a topless photo. She has just now transmitted pornographic images. Now, you have received it. Now you're in possession of child porn, and you think it's funny, and you turn around and send it to your friend. Now you have transmitted child pornography. It's stupid. It's a stupid law, but guess what? Our job is to disagree with those laws, but our job is not to disobey those laws. So think about just this weekend alone, all the things that are going to be in play. And for those of you who think, I don't do the bud, I don't drink the beer, because I got my mama's hydrocodone. Right? I got some OxyContin, or I've got some Adderall. Right? Because I can tell you we're all attention deficit, right? We all have that. If you're in possession of a drug that you don't have a prescription for, it is a felony. It's a felony. And honest to God, I wished when I was in high school and somebody told me, hey Brett, you're responsible as an adult. Nobody ever said that. Nobody ever told me that. You're responsible as a junior and a senior in felony court. And I know you're not thinking long term, but my goal is to make sure that each and every one of you, yes, even the blonde-haired girl with the dyed black in the back, the one on the 7th row up, my job is to make sure that even over this weekend, you get a ride in the weekend. Because you listen to one little thing that I say. One little thing. So all you athletes, think about your teammates. For those of you who are on any kind of a team, think about this. Don't put yourself in a bad position, whether it's drugs or alcohol, racing in a vehicle, because I know a lot of you can't scare you enough of the consequences of fatality. It doesn't mean much to you. When you think about getting kicked out of school, when you think about losing your driver's license, when you think about not getting interviewed at school, when you think about having to drive your mom's minivan because yours has been taken away, those are short-term consequences. Those are real. I have a question down on the front. Yes, sir. What happens if you get pulled over and you're driving with your friend and your friend is intoxicated and he's a passenger? And you're just driving. All right. What he's saying is he's getting pulled over for some type of traffic violation. He's the designated driver. His friend is commode hugging drunk, right? In all likelihood, you're going to get a ticket. And in all likelihood, your passenger is going to get arrested for what's called public intoxication. You're not going to be arrested, no, not for a ticket. But the guy who's the passenger over there is probably going to go to jail for public intoxication. Whoever was the passenger will get the ticket and get arrested. Yeah. All right, next question is, what if you're out at curfew? Does everybody know what the curfew in Montgomery County is? It's midnight, unless you're in the city of Conroe. And if you're in the city of Conroe, it's 11 o'clock if you're under 17. Those of you who don't pay attention, I'll be seeing you shortly.
Juan was a good kid. Juan was involved in a tragic accident. Juan wasn't doing anything wrong. He wasn't drinking and driving. That's the main subject of our conversation today. But over the weekend, over the prom weekend, over the summertime, I want y'all to keep him in your minds and in your memory. And think about today. He's not here today. He's not here to be able to listen to this speech. He's not here to be able to go to prom, buy his tuxedo, take his girlfriend to prom. Some serious things to think about. Anyone in this room could be in the same situation. When you add some alcohol to the subject, it intensifies things. Y'all say that. The DA talked to you about some of the punishments and the consequences of your actions. Y'all, when you leave here today, think serious about that. Think about what he said. I know a lot of you in here personally. I know that a lot of you are fixing to pursue your careers and your dreams. When you have that one drink, I want you to think about your career. Pour that drink out as you pour your career down the drain. I see a lot of bright faces in here, a lot of hope for the future. I mean, my time's up. Don't let a consequence of your actions ruin your career. My son, Brandon, we're here in here somewhere. You know, I preach to him all the time, and probably have people sitting around him right there. I preach to them as well about the consequences of what they do. You're adults now. It's like he said earlier, you belong to him. We're not going to take you to juvenile. We're going to take you in there and put you in the same cell with the bad boys. It's not a fun place to be. One of the hardest things I've ever had to do in law enforcement is go to the parents of a teenager who's been killed in an accident. Don't put us in that situation. Everybody here has the opportunity to not put us in that situation. Think before you drink. Prom weekend, it's a big weekend. I'm going to be watching. I know where you're going. It's my time to embarrass Brandon a little bit, but I want to go ahead and anybody that sees him, if he's messing up this weekend, my number is 911. So dispatchers know me by name, just tell them you need to talk to Rowdy, and just let me know. Feel free to give me a call and let me know. Someday we're going to have a car sitting down here. Y'all stop and take a look at this car. And you could be in that car and not survive. Texting and driving is as dangerous as drinking and driving. Pay attention, stay behind the wheel. And when you might think, well, I'm just going to send a text message, they'll never know. We're going to know. We're going to subpoena those phone records. We're going to get your phone. We're going to look at it. So just pull over the side of the road if you need to make a text or make a phone call. Have a safe summer. Have a safe prom. Don't put us in a situation where we have to go notify your parents
And it is extremely hard, as Constable Hayden told you, it's extremely difficult for me or for one of them to have to go to your family and tell them that you won't be coming home anymore. I've had first-hand experience with that in 1970. My uncle was a police officer in Silsbee, Texas. He was a Hardin County Sheriff's deputy. He had arrested a gentleman the week before for DWI. He was out. The guy went through the process. He was out, bonded out. 1 week to the day later, my uncle was responding to another disturbance in progress. This same guy that he had arrested a week before left this same beer joint, as we call it, pulled out in front of my uncle. My uncle T-boned him, and my uncle was killed. He was a 29-year-old sheriff's deputy. He had a wife that loved him very much and 4 small children. And the reason this is so vivid in my mind is that they had no place to go. They came to live for a period of time with my mom and dad, my brother and my sister. We lived in a 2-bedroom house at that time over the security area. It put a tremendous burden on my family and I, as well as the state. But the burden that I remember most, when you listen now, is my 7-year-old, he was the oldest out of 4 children, my 7-year-old cousin. I remember him distinctly crying every day. I was 14 years old, and every day I come home from school, he's crying. He's wanting to know why his dad's not coming home. And at 14 years old, I didn't have any answers for him, because somebody was stupid and abused what is legal to drink alcohol and abused it went over the limit. Bottom line, guys, my uncle's not coming home. Since 1970, he's not coming home. Put a tremendous burden on my family. It still bothers to this day my 4 cousins that they had to grow up without their dad and in an environment that was often difficult for them from time to time. That is a true, real-life story. I've investigated many fatality accidents. I investigated the gentleman I was just talking about over 105 East, right here in my home this morning. He died in this curve. Bad things happen to good people. You have to think and be very careful. Judge Whitehall just sentenced a young man to 10 years for this racing incident. I'll be honest with you, I had a hot rod truck. I graduated here in Glendale in 1974, and I drove like crazy. Just by the hand of the good Lord, that I didn't get hurt back there, hurt someone. I wish I would have done that looking back. You may not be so lucky, guys. Don't do stupid things, as the district attorney is telling you about. We take no pleasure in putting you in jail or in prison. We want you to have the very best life. I work so hard at trying to keep you guys in school and to make sure that you get a good education. We want you to have the very best life you can have, to go on to successful careers and marry and have children of your own, if that's for you. And you can do that. You just have to think a little bit before you do things. Don't get in the car. Don't be texting and driving down the road. Pull over on the side of the road if it's that important, if you can't wait till you get to your destination. You've heard all this from all of us today. It is the simple truth. We're not here for our own glory. You are not our children, but we care deeply about you and your future. You are important. You will be where we are. Some of you in here may be a judge in the future, or a constable, or the district attorney. It may be one of you guys. I was right where you were at in 1974. So think about your actions. And please don't make us have to call your parents and tell them that you won't be coming home anymore. And don't make me have to go out and give you any more money while these teenagers that could have made a different and better decision. It's been a pleasure to be here with you today. Thank you for your attendance and letting us be a part of this. And be safe. God bless you.